Hello beautiful people, it's Bridget. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day, and today's video is going to be a little bit controversial. So today we're going to be talking about products that I think nobody asked for, things that I personally see like, why is this a thing when I see these products? So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, before we get started, all makeup I use on this channel is cruelty-free, but not all the brands that I'm mentioning in today's video, since a couple of them I don't buy from anyways because they're not cruelty-free. I feel like it's fair game to make fun of them a little bit, and I'm not necessarily making fun of any of these brands or saying that any of these products are bad, but you know, they're just not my taste. I don't really see like why anyone would want that, you know, but that's my own personal opinion, so let's get into the first thing. Okay, so the first thing, the inspiration for today's video is going to be something that I recently saw at Nordstrom Rack a couple days ago, and the moment I heard this was announced, like, on Trendmood's page, first time I ever saw this palette last year, I knew TJ Maxx right there. That's what I thought when I saw this palette, and it's a good brand, but this palette is like, what were you thinking? And this is the Urban Decay Light Beam palettes. Honestly, what is this? Because it kind of looks like shades that maybe they were like testing out for a future palette and just decided to sell the samples of. Like, it is so lackluster, so boring, like so underwhelming. Like, even looking at this, there's an orange in it, cool. What am I supposed to do with these shades? Even like the transition shades in here are just kind of like, Like, I see nothing appealing about this palette whatsoever. This is, like, I saw this in Nordstrom Rack the other day, and I was just like, called it. It's so boring. It's, like, literally one of the most boring things I've ever seen in my life, and I love Urban Decay. They're awesome brand. They're very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. They have a lot of great products, and I'm sure the quality of these shadows is good, but, like, who wanted that? And if you bought it, let me know what it was that made you buy it. Okay, so Azrael is going to be introducing this next thing onto the list because she's a very skinny little girl. She's a very skinny mini with little crumbs under her chin, but she's going to bring us into this next thing, which is the Jouer Skinny Dip palettes. Jouer made a whole Skinny Dip collection because the Skinny Dip lip topper was like a huge hit, but I get the whole collection, the rest of the Skinny Dip collection, the highlighters, everything. The eyeshadow palette for this collection is so lame. They're all shimmer shades, which I guess is like, I kind of expect because it is like the Skinny Dip collection. Skinny Dip's lip topper is kind of metallic. But the colors in this are just so uninspiring. Even the Skinny Dip, like, lip topper itself has a really rich, beautiful color to it, with like really high pigmentation. These are just kind of like all really muted shades. I don't know who asked for this eyeshadow palette. I would think really bright, colorful Skinny Dip shades for this, just because the Skinny Dip collection, like the rest of the products in the collection, are very beautiful, bright. This palette though is just really lame and like, I don't know. Not feeling that whatsoever. So next up is another thing that is now at TJ Maxx if you are interested, and this is from MAC. MAC is not cruelty free, I'm allowed to make fun of them. This is the MAC and Jeremy Scott collection. I honestly don't know who Jeremy Scott is. I only know it's some music person because of the palette packaging for this stuff, but the collection itself, who asked for a Jeremy Scott MAC collection? Like, I get doing like certain famous people, like I get the Aaliyah thing because she was so beautiful and like keeping her legend alive, and I get the Rihanna thing because Rihanna herself is just gorgeous, but Jeremy Scott, like, I don't get it. I think he's a DJ or something, but the palette layout is such a waste of space. Like, there's a couple shades and there's a whole bunch of wasted space. I don't get it whatsoever. I don't know who asked for this collection collaboration. I don't know who asked for this weird layout of a palette which is just mostly wasted space, and the colors in here just kind of seem like just random colors put together. I don't understand this collection. I don't understand the packaging. I don't understand any thoughts behind this. I'm not surprised at TJ Maxx, and if you bought this, let me know what it was that drew you to it. So the next thing on this list is something I'm very sorry about Urban Decay, because I do love Urban Decay, I really do. But this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Shapeshifter Contour Palette. This contour palette, I personally love cool tone contours, especially for my fair skin. But this looks like it would work on nobody. It kind of looks like a doll kit. Like if you had like a plastic Barbie head and you're going to do makeup on it. I think that's kind of what this looks like, and that's so harsh. I'm so sorry. But like the colors in here are so uninspiring. There's nothing in here that you're like, oh, that'd be a really good contour color. Like, I don't have that already. These are kind of just things like, okay, maybe if my skin was kind of gray, I would need this. Even like the lighter, like highlighting shade on the far left shade doesn't look like it'd work for like anything. Like, I don't understand this whatsoever. They have so many good contouring products from Urban Decay that this one is just like, shape shift what exactly? Alright, so next up is something I might get in trouble for because people live and die for this brand, and this is the Fenty Beauty Galaxy palette. I think it's called the Galaxy palette. The packaging on this, super freaking cute. Like, the packaging's really cute, but the colors and the design of this palette overall, like, the colors are okay. They seem really random, and they're all like shimmer shades, so you like need another palette to reach into, even though this is like a $58 palette. The $58 palette, you can't really make a cohesive look out of it. I even heard that reviews aren't really great of that palette. It just seems kind of like a, palette. And when I think of Galaxy, like the packaging, I guess I get more for the Galaxy vibe than the actual colors inside, because they're pretty muted. They're kind of just like, oh, it's a colorful palette. What about that is Galaxy? I don't really know. Maybe the shimmery metallic-y formula? I don't get it. I don't know who wanted this. I don't know if it sold well. If it did, good for Rihanna, but I don't get that at all. I like the packaging, but it's really expensive for something that doesn't really make sense. Alright, so next up is something from a brand that a lot of people love because it is affordable. And I have a lot of products from this brand that I do like. And I feel like in the last year or so, they've really stepped up their formulas. So this is Morphe, and specifically the Morphe 25B palette. There's so many Morphe palettes, honestly, that I could point out and be like, they all look the same, which is kind of my point about this one. But this is a 25B palette. I believe there's two different versions. There's like an old version and an updated packaging version. I don't know which is which. I'm not a Morphe, I don't know, super fan, I guess. I have a bunch of their products I like, but I don't know all their like 3507 EBA copper or whatever. I don't know all of that stuff. But this is the 25B, and I find it super, super boring. I feel like so many of their palettes look the same. They're all really big palettes with like 6 shades put into like 30 shades. Because realistically, you could take 6 of these shades and get all the looks out of that palette, because you could just dip very heavy-handed or very light-handed into these shades and get the same looks that you would with the 10 shades leading up to it. So specifically the 25B is what I'm talking about. I'm not a fan of big palettes, and with the Morphe big palettes, a lot of the shades, and sometimes the BH Cosmetics big palettes too, a lot of the shades just seem real repetitive and very minimally different, but people still buy them because they have like 2 really nice gold shades in them or something usually. I feel like that's kind of what it is, but I don't know. I don't know. You guys can let me know, do you have a ton of Morphe palettes? Do you use all of them all the time? Because I feel like maybe you'd find one you really like and that'd be it, but I don't know about that because I feel like so many look so similar. I don't know who asked for all these very similar palettes with the different titles just because they're very slightly different. I don't know. I really like Morphe's smaller palettes lately, though the formula is a lot better than it used to be. So next up is from Too Faced, and I feel like a lot of Too Faced stuff kind of is just like, why? But this specifically is the Melted Chocolate and the Melted Latex liquid lipsticks. The Melted Mattes are really good. Like, they're the classic, they're fantastic. They're the classic, they're fantastic. That was a rhyme. Okay, but I feel like the Melted Chocolate, does Melted Chocolate seem like something you want on your lips? Like if you're eating a snack, maybe that's what you're into. But I don't think you want melted chocolate sitting on your lips going out in public. That doesn't sound good. Like, it makes scented products already, Too Faced. I don't know why everything has to be, I don't know, weird. And then Melted Latex, like when it first got announced, I was a little bit interested, like a peel off, really cool, rubbery latex liquid lipstick would be fun, but it turns out they weren't actually like that. So they were just like a semi-shiny matte liquid lipstick, so I don't get the melted latex thing. I don't know, they have melted metallics and melted mattes. Those two things I understand, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know, some of the Too Faced things, just like the Life's a Festival palette, the packaging on it is super cute, but the layout is really weird on the inside. I don't understand the color selection. It's just like, here's some rainbow-ish shades, and I don't get it. Like, I don't get it at all. Next up is something I was like, ugh, when I first saw this in a drugstore many years ago, and I still think about it once in a while, like, what is that marketing? And this is the Maybelline Colossal Spider Effect Mascara. This. I mean, honestly, this. I feel like most mascaras are marketed towards separating your lashes, defining them, make them thicker and fuller and give you volume, make them look fluffy and nice. This one's just like, we're gonna make them clumpy and you're gonna look like spidery and it's gonna be so cool. That's what this looks like. I don't understand. I don't know why people would want that. If you tried it and you bought it, please let me know what made you want to buy it, because even the advertising was like the fancy models and all the Photoshop in the world, it looks weird. It looks like something you do not want from mascara. Like, you've seen like a terrible, oh my god, mascara review. That's what I think of when I see the pictures for this campaign. I don't understand that whatsoever. But if you guys do know about it, please let me know. I'd love to hear the comment section on this video. Anyways, you guys, please let me know at least one product down below that didn't make it on this list of something you were like, why did they make that? Because I feel like a lot of us have these strong opinions like, what do we need this for? And I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you want to see a part 2, give me a like on this video. I'll certainly do it for you. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you haven't hit subscribe before, I'd really love to have you here. Thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.